One and only Jeff Collins joins us. There he is. There's Coach, rocking and rolling new gear. He always looks good. He's always got the cool stuff. Always. Coach, it's always a pleasure having you on the show. And, man, I'll tell you what, big difference from week 1 to week 2. You always hear that adage, teams get better from week 1 to week 2. I think that you guys are probably the perfect definition.
Yeah, absolutely. Got a chance to clean up a lot of mistakes, and we hurt ourselves against the number 4 ranked team in the country, and got a chance to fix those. But there was a lot of things to build on, and luckily we've got a group of guys that are committed to it, even on a short week, 5-day prep, getting ready to play. Saturday night downtown Atlanta. It was a good environment. Glad we got the win, and we get rewarded with another top 20 team Saturday afternoon on prime time.
Your run game this past weekend, Coach, 243 yards on the ground, 5 rushing touchdowns. Dante Smith leading the charge there. What impressed you most about this run game that gets you excited for this tough sledding you have ahead?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it starts with the offensive line. I thought our offensive line did a really nice job, had some interchangeable parts, but they all worked really hard together. I thought Jeff got us in the right looks to run the ball where we wanted to run, and we had 3 explosive running backs, obviously beginning with a 100-yard rusher in Dante Smith, 3 touchdowns, and had a really big night for us. And my favorite thing is right on the way up to do this show right here, Dante was in the office with Coach Daniels going over the things that he needs to improve on to be ready for Saturday at 3:30.
Love it. Coach, your guy Jeff Sims, man, he's been playing well this season. Last game, you didn't need him much. You ran the ball. What have you seen the difference in him between camp and now?
Yeah, just the biggest thing is his overall development, really since January. In Coach Long's offense and working every single day with former Heisman Trophy winner Chris Winkie. Have done a really nice job with Jeff and really the entire quarterback room. And just the development, where to go with his eyes, his progression, footwork fundamentals, and then leadership has all drastically improved. And he's one of the best kids I've ever been able to coach, and just excited to see him continue to grow and work and develop as the season progresses.
Coach, I know you guys did a lot of good things in the Clemson game. I know that feels like a month ago, but you took that week, and again, people if they didn't see the game, they saw the final score and went, "Oh, it wasn't competitive." Man, it was a third quarter. It was a 1-possession game, and you had them right where you wanted. So you did some good things in week 1. But it's got to be nice to know that, hey, the kids bounced back and gave you that kind of effort for week 2 as you get ready for a big SEC team this week.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously there's a lot of things, as coaches, we want to make sure we're fixing all the critical mistakes that hurt us against a great opponent. But the belief system with our players and, how they perceive, what they did and how good they can be, it gives us a chance, each week to play really good football. And Pac, you've known me for a while, and that's the biggest deal is we just want to make the Yellow Jacket fan base, all the former players really proud of the way that we play, how we go about our business, how hard we play, how well we execute, and we got a chip on our shoulder to go out each week and do that. And we've got good opponents coming up, and especially starting with this one, the 17th ranked team in the country coming to Atlanta.
Coach, you mentioned how high they are ranked, but they are coming to your house. We saw how you competed, like Pac just said, against Clemson. What can a win over an Ole Miss team like this do for your program, especially with the tough schedule that you guys do have?
Yeah, every week's important. Obviously, this is the next opponent. Just so happens to be a great football team. So we know the challenge is there, and we just got to play it one game at a time and have the focus, have a great practice tomorrow during our Thursday routine. Great day of preparation on Friday. Wake up Saturday morning, get ready to play. It's going to be warm. Do the hydration. Get ready to come out there and play in front of our home crowd. And obviously, we want to play really well. We know the challenge that's ahead of us, but we got to play it one play at a time and let the result take care of itself.
Coach, your defense last week had 3 interceptions. That matches the total for all of last year. I know you're more involved this year on defense.
Sure.
What have you liked about the performance through 2 weeks?
Yeah, I mean, we've made a lot of changes, and there's been some new guys that have been added, but I've just really liked the leadership that exists on that side of the ball. AC Lee, Charlie Thomas, they're playing really good football at the linebacker position, and it starts there. They get everybody lined up. They make all the calls, and then they're flying around making plays as well. And then I think just the market improvement in our defensive line, fundamentals and technique, the way they're controlling gaps, defending the run. We've still got to clean up some pass rush lanes because I think we probably left about 4, maybe 5 sacks on the table in the game Saturday night. So that's been a big point of emphasis this week in practice. But on the back end, Travaris Tillman, former Georgia Tech legend, has come in, done a great job just creating a great cohesive unit on the back end in the secondary, the communication, the trust, all of those things to be able to execute is paramount for us to continue to play really good defense. And I think we've had times this season that we've played really good defense. Just got to make sure we continue to build on that and not have any lapses and give up plays that can hurt us.
All right, so you get Ole Miss this weekend. And of course, Lane Kiffin's the head coach. I think of Lane Kiffin as a great offensive mind, and there's some pieces that are different this year for their team, like everybody else. But when you watch film of Ole Miss, and again, I'm assuming that their quarterback's going to be back. Who knows? He's got a couple guys he can play, and he's going to try to probably spread that ball all over the place. But when you watch tape of Ole Miss, Coach, what's the biggest concern for you and your team?
Well, I mean, obviously, when you watch it, obviously, Coach Kiffin does a great job as a play caller, always has. But then just the speed in which they're operating their system, the analytics that they're using for the 3rd downs and 4th downs and going for it. But then they've got speed and athleticism at every single level of the offense, from the running backs that are really good, that are very complementary to each other. Both quarterbacks are very talented, can make every throw. The receivers can stretch the field vertically. And then the tight end position, I don't know if there's a more dynamic tight end in college football. And then their offensive line is big and physical, and they play within the framework of the system. So we've got our work cut out for us. We're probably going to have about probably 25 to 26 defensive guys ready to play and play at a high level with this tempo and the amount of plays that we're going to have to defend. And, we're expecting our guys to rise to the challenge and play really good football.
Knowing you're going to need so many guys, that could be an endurance game, knowing what Lane Kiffin does offensively. Do you run your guys a little harder this week when it comes to just conditioning?
Well, I think Lou Corral, our strength coach, does a great job with that year-round, and that was the big point of emphasis this offseason because we knew we were going to play some tempo offenses, especially within the first 4 games of the year. So that was a point of emphasis this entire time. And it's going to be warm here in Atlanta Saturday afternoon at 3:30. So we just have to have our entire plan ready to go and a bunch of guys that are hungry, ready to play a really good brand of football.
Coach, when you're watching film on the Clemson tape, do you use that this week versus Ole Miss to let the guys know, like, you were very close and this is how well I know you guys can play? We just have to finish.
No, so the guys, I'm sure they have those conversations. We're completely focused on you watch the Ole Miss tape. There's enough as a coach that you want to make sure you cover everything. We're not looking back in the past. We're worried about one play at a time in this group of guys. It's an explosive offense that has playmakers all over the field. So we're going to spend every second that we have as coaches focused on ourselves in the practice tape and as much Ole Miss tape as we can watch with the guys.
All right, Coach Collins, you said the word hungry earlier, and I noticed you have a Waffle House cup in your hand. What's your order at old Waffle House?
It'll be just a all-star special, scattered, smothered, and covered, and a cherry Coke, the cherry syrup in it, and go from there.
All right, that sounds really
nice
good.
You can't go wrong at Waffle House.
No, never.
Yep.
You could throw a dart, whatever it lands on, you'd be like, all right, I'll take 2 of whatever it lands on. I'll take 2 of those, and I'll be good to go. That's when you know you're in a good spot.
Covered and smothered, all the above.
Yeah, smothered. Yep. That's just the way you roll, I think. By the way, what kind of relationship do you have with Lane Kiffin? He seems like an interesting fella.
I don't really know him. Heard a lot about him. Brent Key worked with him. Says great things about him. So, we understand that we've got a great coaching staff that we're competing against, great group of players, and we've got a couple more days to work on ourselves and be ready to play at a high level Saturday at 3:30 in Bobby Dodd.
I can't wait to watch it, Coach. Listen, it's always good talking to you. Again, congrats on
Absolutely.
the W. Good luck this weekend and the rest of the year. And stay healthy, will you? Please?
You got
Stay
it.
healthy.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks for all y'all do.
You got it, Coach.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach.
Off it goes. Jeff Collins. We got the signed Jeff Collins helmet. We're good to go on that bad
Fancy.
boy.
Looks
Waffle
nice.
House order.